Hi there, I'm Tricia Pine at rejoiceinyourvoice.com. I want to share with you a simple but very well could be impactful concept for you when thinking about your singing and speaking. So last week during Thanksgiving vacation for me, as I sat in my jammies, I was lured into watching Project Runway Junior. Now, for those of you that do not know about Project Runway Junior, it takes young, aspiring fashion designers and puts them through a series of design challenges. Now, one of these very young and creative women that were on the show, what she did is she looked at the New York cityscape, and rather than being inspired by the actual buildings that she was seeing, those incredible skyscrapers, she flipped what she was looking at and concentrated on the negative space that she was seeing, everything above that cityscape. She looked at the sky, she looked at the colors that were there, she looked at the design above it. You see what I'm saying? The negative space. So then it had me thinking about how often in art, as creative people, we use or can use negative space to make our art more impactful. So if you think about, an artist or a photograph where they have lots of negative space in there and a small focal point. Or let's say even in music when we've got lots of sound and then a rest comes, it makes an impact. Same thing like when we're watching a movie and there's tons of action music going on and then silence. It really draws our attention. So how can we apply that to our voice? What if this week while you're working, rather than going through that long checklist that I always give you every week, how's the tongue and what's going on with the jaw and what about the soft palate and how's the tension in the neck and are you breathing? What about if we just set those concepts, those very valuable concepts aside, but this week we played with the reverse? Because what I'm trying to help you get to by helping you release your tongue and relax the jaw and find the soft palate and work on some of the diction and the enunciation and opening up the throat, all these things, they're to help you to experience a different type of negative space, right? So I wanted to show you, when we look at this cutout of this face right here, we already have negative space ready to access, but are we always utilizing it? So we've got incredible negative space right here in the nasal cavities. We've got resonant space here in the forehead. We've got the negative space here within the throat when we open that. When we move the tongue out of the way and we're allowing the sound vibration to come through, when we move the tongue out of the way, we're creating an openness, more negative space. Same thing with the soft palate when we're lifting, allowing for more negative space. So this concept of negative space could really help us, and I've been using it over the last week and a half as I've been thinking about how does that feel when I take away that checklist and I just go, oh, let's feel the openness. Let's feel that negative space. What does it feel like to create negative space in the belly, to open up down there, to create more space within the torso, to create more space within the throat, more space all around? Playing with this idea of negative space could really help you shift your perspective around your speaking and your singing. It could help you open up to a new ease in how you create that sound. So put your checklist aside and play with this openness and creating more negative space as you create your art. All right, have fun with this concept, and until next week, always rejoice in your voice. Bye-bye.